So it seemed boring at first, like the sidewalk, it just keeps going forever. And then I look up, and then I see all these hospital buildings. And the windows in the hospital buildings, they're like living creatures. They stimulate imagination. The sense impressions, they're vivid. The associations, the sense experience and the mental associations. Welcome to another Club Murano video. I was just looking at a fence. The paint, it's a wooden fence, and the paint is flaking off the old wooden fence. Prayer and contemplation. What's the difference between prayer and contemplation? Well, they both have religious connotations, but contemplation can be anything. You could be a mechanic contemplating
you gotta cover your
a machine,
face,
trying to figure out
2 meter
where the
distance.
problem lies. You're hearing a rattle and you're trying to figure out where the machine is coming. Or you're trying to improve the machine, but you're not really sure. So you sit there and contemplate the entire situation. And similarly with existence. You wake up in the night with panic attacks, or you're having anxiety, or it's the darkness of winter and you feel a little bit discouraged and depressed, and the pandemic is happening and so on, and then you might want to contemplate the whole situation. Hygiene and distancing. Mull it over in your mind. It's very important. So what I find is just walking around, looking at things and listening to things is very helpful. Because after years and years of contemplation, it sounds like you've arrived at some kind of wisdom. No, I'm not implying that. I'm just saying that after futile attempts to find an answer to unanswerable questions, somehow in the back of my mind, hoping that one day I could snap out of it and become enlightened, or somehow understand the nature of ultimate reality. One day I just realized, no, I'm never going to understand ultimate reality. I'm never going to be enlightened. I'm just going to die. It could be in the middle of eating a piece of bread and peanut butter and a cup of coffee, and then suddenly it's like, boop, your lifespan is cut. And then, so my contemplation while I was out walking the past few days was contemplating what it's like to be born. Well, I don't remember, but the concept that I'm the result of a sperm and an egg. My mother got pregnant, and 9 months later a baby came out, and it was a very active young person, and eventually got old, had lots of ups and downs just like any human being, and arrived at old age, or not young anymore. It's being digested. Digestion of that wooden fence, and my body is being digested as well. It's like the pre-decay. You got your pre-reverb, and this is like the pre-decay. All right. Running out of steam over the hill. And death is not some faraway abstract thing. I've seen corpses in coffins. I've been in funeral homes. I've seen autopsies. So death, I've seen what happens to the body after it becomes a corpse. I've witnessed that. And so that's something to contemplate. And then you want to put a word on it. You want to pin it down, but you realize after you say something, you make a statement about reality, and then after you look or you listen and you say, no, that's not really it. There's more to it than what I just said. That's just kind of like scratch. No, I'm not satisfied. So I reached the point where I really can't say anything, because whatever I say, it's like, nah, that's not really, no. So I gave up. And that sounds like I did something, but I don't know. Lately, I've just been walking around with the camera, especially with solitude has intensified the sense of unreality, or like being in a dream, not seeing anybody. I live alone, like millions of people. Especially in the pandemic, it kind of intensifies. If you're lonely before the pandemic, this just magnifies it, amplifies it. So it puts a kind of almost, it feels like an altered state of consciousness, almost like you're permanently in a dream because you've lost the reference point of being around other people. And that's actually can be rich and creative, and that's what these lately I've been doing in these videos. Well, I've always been doing that, and I don't know. See, you're always trying to say what you're doing, but it's not exactly the way it is.